Well, hello. Welcome back to KOTR Gaming, and this is the second episode of our WWE Supercard gameplay. The Road to Glory has started, so we are well on our way to getting Finn, and by well on our way, I mean I just started. So there's still a long way to go. Still not sure if I'm going to grind it out to go for Finn, but I guess we'll see when we hit our wall, how many +1s and +2s we're going to have to grind to try and get Finn. So yesterday on our first episode, I was about 10 games away from finishing my first legendary King of the Ring. Did a lot better than I thought I was going to for a first try. Ended up going into the brackets ranked number 3. So the number 6 guy that I went up against was actually a computerized bot. So for those of you that don't know, if it takes a while for 15 other people to start up a King of the Ring at the same time as you, they'll put in some computerized players just to get the tournament started a little quicker. So I was up against a bot that hadn't energized, so I beat him pretty easily. Then got knocked out in the semis. So for a legendary King of the Ring, if you get knocked out in the semis, you get 2 epic cards, which is pretty cool. That's kind of what I was going for in the first place. Ended up getting a Stardust and a Ryback, both of which I can eventually pro. So that's what my current goal is that I'm shooting for. I need to play a couple exhibition matches, get all of their stats up to 30 games played. That way I can pro both of them, throw them into my Road to Glory deck, and that'll help me out quite a bit. Because as you can see, here's my Road to Glory deck. Aside from that event Ryback in the upper left, the Epic Pros are the best cards that I have right now. I've got 4 of them, so throwing in an extra 2 will help out this deck quite a bit, I would say. So, let's just get right into it. I just started the rare card, so let's play a couple of these bouts. I did buy 156 title matches. That's typically my standard thing with a Road to Glory. I just want to get to my wall as quick as possible and then grind out +2s. So, let's see. I'm going to go up against the Killer. Killer be killed. So at this point, we're really not going to be going up against anybody that's going to pose any sort of threat. So it doesn't really matter what cards I pick. Basically, it's a guaranteed win through these first couple of tiers. But it's always fun to just dominate some common and uncommon cards. So we have a power matchup. Pretty sure I'm going to get this one. So NXT TakeOver was last night. Curious to hear your thoughts about it. I thought it was a pretty good show. I thought the main event was done really well. Didn't really think it was quite as good of a match as the one from the Brooklyn special, but that had a lot to live up to. I thought for a women's Iron Man match, it came off really good. I thought Sasha played a great bad guy in that role. I think my only big complaint that I had about that match was going into it, everybody just seemed so sad and so somber. You could see as both competitors were going to the ring, everybody just seemed a little off. Not sure if it's because it was more than likely Sasha's last NXT match. She's on the main roster now, and barring any guest appearances, I would say, that was probably her last match in NXT. So, I can understand that she would be a little bit sad to go because that was so big a part of her career. But I think it kind of took away from the whole atmosphere of the match in the beginning. Kind of kind of came off like maybe it was just a big fight scenario, so everybody was serious. But in another way, it just seemed like they were sad. And I think there's a big difference between big fight scenario and just kind of sad, you know. But I think the send off that they gave at the end of the show was done really well. I think those girls deserve the respect that they were given. Alrighty, so I wasn't even paying attention to what I was doing during this one, but I appear to have won. So yay. So what I'm doing, because I'm epic plus plus in Road to Glory, but legendary in my exhibition deck, I'm actually quitting the app after each win because I don't want to accidentally pull an epic card while playing Road to Glory. Granted, I'm only about 80 resets in towards my guaranteed pull, but you know, you can pull a card of your tier at any point, so I don't want to risk losing the 80 resets worth of progress for another epic card when I could be building up my legendaries. Let's see. Apparently, a lot of people are getting Christopher as their 1s, 3s, and 5s. So I'm not sure what the matchmaking issue is at this point. I'm going to obviously go against Dennis or Denis. Not sure how to pronounce that one. But it should be a competitive fight. Very competitive. I liked both matches of the, all three matches of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic last night. Wasn't too sure about who ended up winning, actually. I thought they had two pretty good established actual tag teams that could have benefited from winning that. So giving the win to Finn and Samoa Joe, while pretty cool, you know, I like both of those guys. I'm happy to see them win anything that they end up winning. But I thought maybe it would have been a better idea to have one of the actual tag teams that were competing in the event win the Tag Team Classic. That would be a pretty classic thing to do. But, you know, I don't work there, so maybe what I think isn't the best option. Who knows? I've just been a wrestling fan for most of my life. They don't always make the same decisions that you would. But I guess that's the nature of the beast. You know, you watch them make some odd decisions and some quirky moves, and then when they actually do make a really good decision that they've been building up towards and you've really wanted to see it, and then they finally pull it off, it's one of the most amazing things to watch. And even at 29 years old, when something like that happens, you know, you kind of get goosebumps. You realize that you're still a fan and it still excites you. For example, sticking with NXT, when they brought in Kevin Owens and right off the bat, he just decided to turn his back on Sami Zayn. That was one of the most exciting things that I've seen in a long time, because they had such a history through Ring of Honor, through CZW, through PWG. You know, their feud and their teaming and their other feuds and their other feuds have just gone from company to company for the past probably 5 or more years. And to see them both end up in NXT, you know, hitting the big time, so to speak, and then just starting off that feud right off the bat, I think it's something that a lot of the fans wanted to see. So, yeah, when things like that happen, you know, you realize what it's like to be a fan again, because when you're 8 or 10 or 12 years old and you just get super excited about what they're doing on the wrestling show, and you get so invested into the characters and what they're doing. It's really cool to be able to get that feeling when you're a grown adult. It might make you feel a little bit silly. Some people might make fun of you for being a wrestling fan, but it's entertainment. And if they can find a way to entertain you that much, then that's really awesome. So I think we'll go through. We'll do one more Road to Glory match here. Ten Batu 10. Okay, so we got a full legendary line right here. Power and speed. I think Taker will be the guy. And Taker will defeat Brock Lesnar. And then Triple H will defeat the Taker. And Jack Swagger really should not defeat anybody. But it's the luck of the draw. It's an early round. I'll just deal with that. So, at this point, I think one of the things that I need to try and work on, but I guess I really can't work on it because it's all luck-based, is trying to bump up my divas a little bit. I think now that I'm getting a lot of legendary cards, a lot of epic pros, my divas are kind of what's bringing the Road to Glory deck down a little bit. That was the problem that I had back in Season 1 for a while. My divas weren't nearly as good as the rest of my deck, so it was basically 3 or 4 guaranteed losses once I hit a certain point. So now I'm doing pretty okay. I do have an Epic Pro page that tag team. Okay, I need 2 people. I do have an Epic Pro page that's basically carrying the diva side of my exhibition deck. My exhibition deck, I'm currently about half of the way through Legendary, and so at that point there's not really a whole lot of people with Epic Pro Divas or Legendary Pro Divas. So that page that I have is 95% guaranteed to win the match there. I do have 1 Ultra Rare Pro currently. I have another, or well, no, I don't have her yet. I'll be able to pro the Ultra Rare page. That is one of the event, well, not the event cards, but one of the reward cards for this week's Road to Glory. So once I get Paige, I'll be able to pro her as well. So she'll be my second Ultra Rare Pro Diva right behind Natty. And then currently my Road to Glory Divas are rounded out by an Epic Brie and Nikki Bella. So, you know, that could benefit from some improvements. Looks like more than the top half of my Road to Glory deck on the Superstar side, I think about 3/4 of the deck is either Legendary Single or better. So, getting those divas up would be a pretty good thing for me. Alrighty, so we're 30 points into Neville. You know, I'm just going to clear this board. And if I pull an epic on camera right now, I will silently rage. But we get a Callisto. So I did have some stacked up. Alright. We'll do a force quit here. Not going to roll the dice that much. So we'll let this load one more time. I'll go in. I'll show you where I'm at with my exhibition deck. Like I said, I got the Stardust and the Ryback last night from the King of the Ring. So what I'm doing now is I'm just trying to level up those two cards. So Ryback here, you know, I still got a ways to go because I just got these guys at 10 o'clock last night, you know, right before I was going to bed. So I only have a couple of matches for each stat. Ryback's been my primary stat gainer right now. Stardust is a little bit behind him. So once we get all of those stats up to 30 as well as the ability, I'll throw the tokens on them. I can pro both of those cards, and then going back into my Road to Glory deck here, you'll be able to see that I'll end up having 6 Epic Pros. That will bump 2 of those Ultra Rare Pros off the bottom of the deck, so I'll only have 3 on the bottom there. And you know, we'll go from there. Hopefully that'll be enough to push me into the legendary card before I hit my +5 wall. Last go around on Road to Glory, I got about, I would say, a third of the way through the Epic card before I had to drop down. I eventually got the Epic card and then quit for the legendary. Which, looking back, was a pretty poor decision because the legendary at that time was Seth Rollins. So if I would have grinded that Seth out, looks like I would have had a legendary pro, because I'm definitely going for the legendary at this point. Like I said, still not sure about Finn. We'll take it as we go. I wouldn't be surprised if I ended up devoting my entire weekend to trying to get him. Because at this point, I am legendary in the Ring Domination deck, so I would be able to pro him if I got him, and that's kind of a push. That's a push in the right direction. So the other 2 event cards that I've gotten so far, as you saw with the Road to Glory, I got the Ryback and I got the Undertaker. Both of those were PCC event cards, which were the first 2 PCCs that I did get an event card in. I wasn't able to do that in Season 1. I think the farthest that I ever went in Season 1 on a PCC was the Epic Pro tier. I got that a couple of times, the two Epic cards, but never got a Legendary, never got a Survivor, never got a WrestleMania card out of a PCC. So I think enough people were angry that they went to a Season 2 when they said that they wouldn't, which I'm totally okay with. You know, it's part of the game. It's part of sports gaming. Every year you get a new version of the game. But a lot of people got angry about that and they stopped playing. So, you know, that's a benefit for those of us that stick around. A lot of us who weren't able to get a PCC reward before now has, you know, they have The Undertaker, they have Ryback. I was able to pro this Ryback, so that's my first legendary pro. And I wouldn't be able to do it without all of you quitters. So thank you. I really appreciate it. You're giving me a head start on this season. So thank you. Well, thanks for coming by and watching episode 2. You know, like I said in the first episode, leave me some comments. If you have a mobile game that you think is fun and you'd like to see me play, let me know. You know, this is my main time waster, games on the phone. So I'd be happy to, you know, record myself playing something that you want to see. So thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next time. Bye.